So we thought this is a good way of introducing all of you to most of the people and through social media. So we welcome you here.
Sure.
Uh,
Pleasure
Aparna,
to be
I was
part
just going through your profile and it's very interesting and it's very inspiring as well. Uh, the outer space, the name which you have given to your
studio.
business,
Right.
is very interesting. So you are dealing with the furniture only for outer, I mean outside the homes, or you are also with the furniture inside home?
We do both, actually, Dr. Rajni. We do inside homes as well as outside. But our
Uh-huh.
forte is mostly to do with the outdoor furnitures.
Okay.
When we started, we were only focusing on outdoor furniture. But as we
Uh-huh.
grew, we started incorporating customized indoor furnitures also, as per
Uh-huh.
the inquiry. But if you
Okay,
come to my store, you'll see a 95% display of outdoor furnitures.
okay, lovely. So it's only made of the cane or it's made of different raw materials?
Many different raw materials. In fact, over time, we've added a whole lot of new ranges also. First, it was only wicker, what you call
Okay.
PE rattan. That's a plastic cane which is I mean, it is treated
PU
for
treated.
PU treated against sun rays,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
for the outdoors. But
Yeah.
now we deal even in braids, which are made of polyester fiber,
Okay.
and ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have strap.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier wood was not used. Now we combine all these materials like it's wicker with wooden
Mm.
combination, and aluminum frame, mild steel frames. So now we do a
Mm-hmm.
combination of a lot of different kinds of furnitures for the outdoors. We do
Mm-hmm.
log furnitures, the bark of the trees
Mm-hmm.
that is treated, and we have
Lovely.
tables and benches made in that too.
Okay. Very beautiful. In fact, uh, long time back in our houses, when we used to have that furniture, used to get bad due to heavy rains and very, you know, heated. You get heated when you're in the strong sunlight, and then the furniture were getting damaged very fast. But now I
Right.
find with the new raw material introduced, I think it is introduced by Thailand or China.
No, no, German. The best outdoor, China took care, makes its
Mm.
outdoor furnitures,
Mm.
but Rehau is the wicker which is, it's the best wicker which is used for the outdoor.
And it is
Wicker is
Philippines or
lightweight.
Thailand? Philippines or Thailand?
No, that is German.
Ah,
Rehau
that's
is a
German.
German company, yes.
Oh, I see.
They, Vairo and Rehau, they are the best in PE rattan,
Oh, I see.
which is
Okay.
used for the outdoors. It's like
Uh-huh.
10, 15 years, nothing is going to happen. And they have a lovely collection.
Uh-huh.
So, and but
Very
now
right.
most
Very
what
right.
we also deal in is a lot of Indian companies who make their own PE rattans. So they also
I
come with
see.
a
Okay.
warranty of 5 to 10 years. So it's as good.
Uh-huh. And they are equally durable and equally good in quality?
It's as good, I would say. I would
Okay.
not say in equality, but as good.
Mm.
And Chinese wicker we don't use at all because they don't last you more than a year.
Oh, okay. I
The
see.
Chinese stuff is cheap, so
Mm.
they will not want it to last forever. Nobody
Yes,
will
yes,
go
yes.
back.
Uh, maybe
So
this is their business policy because
yeah, that is
if it's not a long life, you are going to ask again.
yes.
Otherwise, like in India, we have fans which has a life of 10, 15, 20 years. So the fan manufacturer must be really at a loss because for 15 years, one client is gone.
I know.
So I think
China is better in business.
yeah, I think so. We learned a lot from
Yeah.
them really
But
because you
nobody can go back to China and catch hold of them. No, being in India in 1 year, we'll have them all lining up outside my store.
no, but the thing is, if you want something cheap,
Yeah.
then the cheap has to be at priced at
Yeah.
that only.
Very
The
true.
quality has to be according to it.
Right.
So I think their policy is quite good that way.
Very good. It's
Uh,
truly very good.
If we sit to analyze that, I find it's very intelligent marketing.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So very nice. So when did you start this business?
Uh, I started in the year 2008.
Hmm.
That's when, in Bangalore at least, the weather was really very beautiful. And
Uh-huh.
for furniture, we had only cane chairs, which was available on the road,
Yeah, yeah.
or plastic chairs. Like my own
Uh-huh.
house had lovely balconies and terraces, and we used to only use plastic chairs.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when, I thought that let me start something more innovative, and I came across the outdoor range. It's
Mm-hmm.
earlier available in Mumbai only. Bangalore had just no stores for
Oh,
outdoors.
I see.
So that's when I started with some 10 pieces of furniture.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, see, the mindset of people was to spend the least amount for their outdoors.
Oh, I see.
The
Okay.
mindset was also for plastic chairs.
Mm-hmm.
A long time to change that mindset that your outdoors should be as beautiful as your indoors, and you should spend as much money outdoors as indoors. At
Mm-hmm.
least in a place like Bangalore, where the outdoor is so beautiful that you would
Mm.
like to spend more time out than inside. You
Yes,
know,
of course.
things in the early
There's such a
morning.
beautiful weather all
That
through the year.
that's what.
So it took you a long time, or you were able to really?
Within, a year or two,
I
I
see.
think we were quite in the market. And
Mm.
since the competition was very less, it was very easy to kind of, hit the market and capture the clientele. Today,
So,
competition is very strong.
as you had mentioned in your profile, that you are the only one who is doing like as a woman entrepreneur, not doing with your family members or others in the family
Mm.
along with them. How did you feel when you first went out to do your marketing pitch, to sell your product?
Actually, it was very easy for me because I have an interior designing background.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to start, the look and feel of furniture was always there for me.
Okay.
It was
Mm-hmm.
just that it was a different forte. Like, it was now getting into specialized field of furniture and not doing complete interiors.
Mm-hmm.
So, and since I was always working, even when I got married, I was doing interior project. Then I was teaching for some time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started this. So, getting into business was very easy for me as such because I was working always.
I see. So it was not something where you feel, oh, whether I'll be able to, I mean, people will receive me, they will be positive towards me, or they will, I'll be able to really crack any deal or no. There was no such doubt in your mind?
Uh, Initially, yes, because it was a new market completely for Bangalore.
Uh,
So definitely, yes, the doubt was there. So I started very small. Like my studio, if you see, it is a 2000 square feet terrace area.
okay.
But when I started, must have used just 100 square feet of it. It
Mm-hmm.
was just some 10 samples that I started with.
Mm-hmm.
And today it's grown to a point that, I have so many more samples that I can incorporate, but I don't have space to display.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yes, I started very small with I'm very skeptical. You're very right there. But yeah, God's grace, it did pick up.
Give us one such incident or meeting. I will not say incident. One such meeting which you can never forget in your life, and
Mm,
which has really given you some kind of a learning.
Uh,
It could be a negative or a positive learning. Doesn't matter.
okay.
As a woman.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I would say like my experience with Indira Nagar Club was quite like this. In the
Mm-hmm.
sense, we must have tried for eventually I did get the order,
Mm.
but that was quite a learning experience because that's when I realized that there is a lot of undercutting which happens initially
Mm.
at that point, which we must have started approaching the club in 2015 and we got the order in 2019.
Okay.
And I don't know how many meetings I must have gone for there,
Mm.
but it was quite difficult because at one point we were three vendors sitting outside,
Mm.
and you just don't know whether, like, your quotation is matching them or not matching. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
very no-win kind of situation. And then that undercutting thing is something that I was not really aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of get into that thing, and being a woman, how to approach they are thinking twice to ask me, and I'm thinking twice how to approach them, that yes, I'm ready to give you commission to get the order. That
Mm-hmm.
I think works out more easy with a man to man,
Mm-hmm.
because they may be taking them out, and at that level and at that profile, it is very difficult to crack for a woman, because you will not take a purchase manager out for a drink,
Mm-hmm.
which men do it, and that's how they get the orders.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously I didn't offer, and I didn't, so it took like 4 years, but eventually, thankfully, luckily, I did meet some honest people there.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came to me, I did express that this is what was the thing, and about the undercutting thing and everything. But that's one was a really a learning experience, that how these that how do you approach these people and offer
Mm-hmm.
and try to get the
Mm-hmm.
ordeals go through.
Mm-hmm. So you think that it was a learning as well as learning in what sense?
Learning, I would say that because this happens a lot in the furniture field, where you need to offer to the purchase managers.
Mm-hmm.
And being a woman, it's a little difficult for me, because I don't know who takes and who doesn't. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
these purchase managers also have the comfort level with a men to men, because they may be going out for a drink together. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
easy for them to crack a deal. I have lost a couple of orders, where I may have not offered. Being a woman, they would have got, an offer from somewhere else. And just under my nose, knowing that I could have got the order, it's gone through.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've become more blatant, but I have learned the art to kind of, offer and give them
Okay.
the incentive, though I don't take them out at all. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
in my own way, I do offer that, yes, if you would like, we can also keep your cut.
Mm-hmm. So you have worked out on ways, alternate
Yeah,
ways that how to
yeah,
get
because
money.
it does happen. It is a commission basis thing. Like the orders
Mm-hmm.
are big, so these people do expect to give
Mm-hmm.
the order. Some of them, I would not say everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
but at some places, yes, we do have to work on that account.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you ever approach any financial institution for your finance, or you went to a venture capitalist, or when you went to some other financial organization or to bank?
To touch wood, I've not really needed to. In the
Mm-hmm.
sense, the rotation of funds has been, by God's grace, good enough for us
Mm-hmm.
to rotate our funds in a way that we don't really need to into overdraft or loan facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, in the furniture, we do expect an advance to confirm the order. We don't work without that, actually, Dr. Rashmi, because I would
Mm-hmm.
have nearly 10 purchase orders sitting in my file,
Mm-hmm.
and the clients have not given an advance. If I would take them into production, they would not pay, and and I would be stuck with dead stock.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a customized based industry where I am making something for you against your order.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm arranging something, it is against the order given to me. So
Mm-hmm.
without some part of advance, we don't ever start an order.
Mm-hmm.
So the rotation of money is always there, by God's grace. So we've not really needed to apply for loans.
So you never ever had to go to any bank or any financial institution.
No, no, not really. And we don't believe in this bank guarantees and, that kind of a thing. We don't work with those clients who say that, oh, give us a bank guarantee or payment 100% after delivery. We don't work with them, because it's a very no-win situation. We don't know if the money will come, not come. And once
Mm-hmm.
you've delivered, then you have no hold over them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I agree. Business is that way very dicey.
Yeah, yeah, it's very dicey. And what happens, like these institutions have a lot of levels.
Mm.
Purchase manager is one level. If the authorities have not, and we are only one call, we only know the purchase manager and his phone number.
Mm.
We don't even know the higher levels. So if the
Mm-hmm.
checks are not signed, nothing, we don't know who to go to. We're just banging against a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they will say that we don't have the authority. What can we do? It's not their personal
Mm-hmm.
use. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to have certain terms and conditions with the way you work if you
Mm-hmm.
want to have your payment secure.
Mm-hmm. Did you try to sell your products through social media?
Yeah, definitely. We are quite active now, also on social media.
Mm-hmm.
We on Instagram, on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We do try a level
Uh-huh.
bit to,
Uh-huh.
promote our website and our different products on social media too. And we do get a couple of inquiries. We're even doing with India Mart.
Mm.
We were with Just Dial.
Mm-hmm.
So we do those platforms also. We try to
So
promote
what is the percentage of your business which is through social media and which is direct business?
5% on social media.
Actually, just 5%.
Yeah, this India Mart also is just fruitless. I just joined them 2, 3 months back, but it was just a waste of money.
India Mart.
Yeah,
India
it,
Mart, you joined at the wrong time, probably.
yeah, I would, maybe you're right, because we do get
Mm-hmm.
inquiries, but I mean, their budgets would be one third of what we would be, our cost is.
Ah.
It's a very
Mm-hmm.
low level of clientele which they get. So we've not cracked anything through India Mart. But yeah, we did try. But Insta and all, we do get likes and we do get some inquiries. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, but through Google, yes, through our website, when people do search for outdoor furnitures,
Mm-hmm.
we do come up and we got a lot of clients through our website and social and the Google search.
See,
I would say 25%.
see, outdoor furniture has a lot of variety along with the furniture as such. I mean, per se, tables and chairs, and apart from that, there are a lot many other things.
Very
So,
true. Very true.
are you have a group of those items along with the furniture you offer to your clients, or what?
Yeah, we are like we promote ourselves as a one-stop solution for outdoors and indoors.
Okay.
In the sense, now we even have undertaken landscape projects along with our furnitures. We do green walls,
Mm-hmm.
planters, plants, benches, loungers, like anything for the
I
outdoors. We do.
see. Uh-huh.
We have a team for every aspect of your outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we do diversify as a one-stop solution for all your outdoor needs. We customize as per your needs. Like which everybody I would not say do, but our USP is that if your area is very small and you need a smaller customized chair
Mm-hmm.
other than the normal size of the chair, we can even do that for you.
Okay, very nice. That's very nice.
We
So,
sell outdoor fabrics.
your focus is only Bangalore or outside Bangalore or India or outside India also. What is your focus?
Everywhere. Our focus is Bangalore and around Bangalore, obviously. Like we've supplied to Kerala, we've supplied to Vishakhapatnam, to Shimoga, like all around Bellary. Like we've supplied furnitures all over. Coorg, Chikmagalur,
I see.
uh, to all these resorts, Amanvana,
Mm-hmm.
Honeypot Homes, Rainforest, Raintree Forest,
And
like
how do
so
they
many
come to know about you?
through Google.
Through Google. You have a website?
Yes,
Okay. So you have displayed everything and the people approach you.
yes. That's how they come to us.
I see. So then it's a big way through. I mean, I will not say social media, but online sale
Yes, online.
is a big one.
A big one. I would say around 25-30% of them come through Google search.
I see. Okay, very nice. Okay. Now, as a woman, what other any such incident during your production, during your marketing, during your expansion you have faced, which you think has always remained with you and you would like to talk about it today?
Uh, I would say that way today women are tough, so it's not so difficult
Uh-huh.
to kind of reach out because I
Mm.
feel it's all in the mind. I don't think, I mean, I feel I have not taken my husband's help in any way that, oh, this is something I can't do, and you need to kind of help me for this. In the sense,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my furnitures are not made in Bangalore itself.
Mm-hmm.
We source it either from Delhi or Mumbai, Jodhpur, because these are the places where the focus and cost effective is more for our
Mm-hmm.
furniture. But
Yeah.
even though my husband's are into transport and logistics,
Mm.
but I feel I figured it all on my own
Mm-hmm.
of how to get it done in the most reasonable way.
Mm.
And earlier the transportation used to be through train, where I would have my boys go at 7 in the morning to collect the furniture.
Mm.
So it's been a learning process, I feel, for me from day one till today,
Mm.
where problems and issues keep coming up on a everyday basis. Some vendor just disappears, and then
Mm.
you're tracing him all over.
Mm.
So you need to find somebody else. So it's been, and earlier we had a team of one or two vendors. Today I have like a team of around 20 vendors who I deal
Mm.
with. So I feel it's a learning experience all over. And nothing as a woman has deterred me where I felt, oh, I can't do this. And I would need
Mm.
somebody to help me out with it. I've always figured out a way.
You have
For
figured out.
no client, I've told that, oh, I can't do this. If it's something new that the client has come to me with, I would
Mm.
say, yeah, let me figure this out. I take a day or two and I somehow figure it out and get somebody to make that for me, but not turn the client away.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel I'm quite women are, I feel, go-getters,
Mm.
and they don't say no,
Mm.
and they figure out a way to do it.
Lovely, lovely. So you're generalizing it, but I think maybe that you are one of the unique ones. Now tell
Uh,
me, what is
I
your
don't know. Yes.
what is your family structure?
My family, so I live in a joint family.
Okay, and you have children?
So with my in-laws, I have one daughter, 18, who's going to be 18 this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we're a small family. My husband, me, my daughter, and my father-in-law. I lost my mother-in-law 2 years back.
You don't look
But
like
a
a
very
mother of a 18-year-old girl.
18, I am.
Uh, uh,
And yeah, I mean, and ours was a very conservative Marwari family. So, I mean, if you
uh-huh.
have Marwari friends, you know how Marus are.
Yeah, yes,
And they
yes, yes.
obviously, I'm from Bombay,
Mm.
basically.
Uh-huh.
So, obviously, from a very
Okay.
open-minded family and an open-minded city.
Mm.
And when I got married, I'm sure they didn't expect a working, I'm sure they expected a housewife and not really a working
Mm. Mm.
entrepreneur who's, come from here. But
Mm.
yes, I have worked my way through, and my in-laws and my husband been very supportive from day one. So that's
Mm.
how it is where I have reached this place.
Mm.
And I guess it takes a lot of shuffling between home and work.
Mm.
If you know how the art of managing that, you can manage your work with your house.
Generally, when women faces a uh, problem in the family, it is generally by, I mean, by husband, or it is by the other members of the family. What is your say in that? Because you must be having friends like yourself, who are also into business. So you must be talking to each other. So what is the general idea you feel that generally the problems are being faced through husband, or it is through other family members?
See, in my case, I would say my in-laws were so supportive that I don't think I've ever faced any problem from them. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
it's because I would say a 90% credit to my father-in-law that today I started this.
Mm-hmm.
And, I am where I am because he was 100% with me.
Okay, very
And
nice.
to take a lot
Mm-hmm.
of pride in what,
Mm-hmm.
in my furnitures and what used to come and go. So I give a lot of credit to my father-in-law for allowing me to start this and supporting me. So I don't think I faced any problem per se that aspect. A little
Mm-hmm.
ups and downs, I would say, initially was with my husband,
Mm-hmm.
but now over time, he also is very happy and he takes a lot of pride in what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So today, I feel I've kind of reached a balance where,
Mm-hmm.
I don't face like touchwood family point of view, there are no issues. And yeah,
Today, your daughter is 18 years old.
yeah.
That means you must have started when she was 10.
No, I started when she was 4, no? Because it was 12 years back.
Oh, I see.
So
Okay.
yeah, so 12 years back, she was six. That's
Oh,
when it
you
started.
started in 2008. So yes,
Eight.
it is 12
Yeah,
years. Yes,
so she
absolutely.
was
Yeah.
5 years old when I started.
Okay, okay. So, how did you feel? Like as a mother, did you feel that you're doing something wrong with the child and you're not giving her enough time and space, and uh, you feel several times guilty during the day, and when you come back, you do something extra to fill up that guilt. Did you ever feel that?
Actually, no, because my studio, thankfully, is on the terrace of my house.
I see. Okay.
So my studio as well as my office is, it's there is an entrance from outdoors, from outside, and I've converted my complete terrace area into my studio.
I see.
So
Hmm.
thankfully, I've always been there for her when she's back from school, when she needs me. I've been there. So
Hmm.
that guilt factor never came for me.
Hmm.
And though when I work, I'm at work, like I'm up here by 10.
Hmm.
I just go up for lunch, then I'm there till 5:36. So yes, if the need arises, I am there.
Hmm. So you
So
never
that guilt,
faced that kind of a problem or that kind of a, you know, uh, a guilt which
guilt,
comes generally in women, because they are not able to
yeah,
attend the child and when the child
yeah,
needs
no,
them.
I've not
Hmm.
ever felt that at all because I've always
You
been
have
there.
always been there. So did you ever try the export market?
Uh, Personally, no,
Mm-hmm.
but now I am getting a couple of inquiries. So, but it's a complete different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how, means I have no idea the working of the export market at all.
Have you
So
heard of
yes, but
Expo
that's
Mart? Have you heard of Expo Mart?
no. Because I
Okay.
didn't venture out into exports actually, honestly.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
I
So
didn't think
Handicraft
about it.
Export Promotion Council, you have no idea.
No, no, I've
Ha.
never approached them because I didn't.
You didn't because you're busy with your present local
Yeah. So
market
now I
itself.
am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And actually, export market is a complete different ball game.
Uh-huh.
The requirements and everything. So yes, maybe I am now planning to venture out in that, and we are getting a lot of inquiries for export because China market is shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, it was not happening so much here because China, you cannot compare China prices with the Indian prices. It is
Mm-hmm.
too cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever export was happening with people was happening through China.
Mm-hmm.
So now with the China market closing, you won't be surprised in the last 1 month I've got so many people who want to start with the export.
Okay.
They are inquiring with me, but I need to get
Uh-huh.
get the touch feel of that water. I've not yet experienced
Mm-hmm.
it from a close front.
Mm-hmm. Now, today, where you are today, you have really traveled through last so many years. How do you see your future, like 10 years after? Or you have any plans to grow at present, or you have planned out that after 5 years I'm going to grow like this and my turnover today is like say X crores. So I want after 10 years it should be so much of crores. Do you have any such visualization, any such thing in your mind?
Definitely. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
visualize, you never reach a goal. We started with what, 10 lakhs a year, it was that small our turnover. Today, if we've
Uh-huh.
reached a certain level, it's due to visualization.
Uh-huh. Very
And yes,
nice.
we do plan to, like now I just told you the export thing, I want to touch that this year.
Uh-huh.
I want
Uh-huh.
to get the touch. We do have some concrete clients who are planning.
Mm.
So we are trying to develop those samples. And yes,
Mm.
every year we incorporate now. Earlier, wicker was the only outdoor material
Mm.
which was available
Yeah.
in the market. So now we've introduced ropes, straps,
Mm.
braids.
Mm-hmm.
So we are, introducing new varieties because it's become very stagnant. Like wicker has become very stagnant. Now you even have the roadside stores coming up with those wicker furnitures.
Ah.
Competition, reach out to people with something new, you will be out of the market. So we've
Mm.
started undertaking even this outdoor furnitures in straps and ropes in different mediums and
Mm.
complete solutions for the landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
Landscaping is something new that we have started.
Okay.
One second, my battery is low. One second. Can I just get my battery?
Sure, sure. Do that. Do that. No problem.
One-
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me.
Tell me.
Can you hear me?
I can tell me.
Yeah. Uh, how important is networking in your business? Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very important because without mouth, without reaching out to people, nobody will know you.
Mm-hmm.
So every any business is through networking and
Mm-hmm.
word of mouth. So we do calls to architects and interior designers on a regular basis. We keep following with our clients. We keep doing this social media updates
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook, on Insta,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only way to reach out to people
Mm-hmm.
and to
And do
keep
you,
feel
how do you make extra effort to increase or expand your networking? How do you do that?
like I thought India Mart would be one of them, but it didn't turn out.
Okay.
But to reach out to more people is through architects, builders, and social networking. There is no other route that I would know of. And we did participate in a couple of exhibitions also
Mm.
to reach out to more people. But now that anyway is not happening.
You
So now,
think that platforms like uh, Federation of Indian Women Entrepreneurs or some such platforms are not important for networking? You think that way, or do you
uh,
think they are important?
no, definitely they would be important, I would say.
They would be important.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
oh,
definitely.
yeah. So this is where I think you need to really get into. Now,
Okay.
what advice do you have for women about getting out and meeting people?
Um, See, in our business, I feel cold calls don't work. So
Uh-huh.
definitely, today, if I mean, I don't go personally for all the meetings,
Mm.
but yes, which are important clients and the high-profile clients, I make it a point to personally go and meet those clients because a personal rapport and a face-to-face interaction,
Mm.
any client. The chances of the order clicking is much higher because when they meet you, the confidence level, see, on the call
Mm.
is just a voice, there's no face behind. So you
Mm.
don't know the confidence.
Mm.
The person may have confidence on you, may not
Mm.
have. So I feel a personal meeting with important clients is very, very essential to create that
Mm.
confidence because if that would be the first time he would be also dealing with
Mm.
my firm. To build that confidence, yes, I would feel women should go for some meetings
Mm.
and but obviously with an appointment
Mm-hmm.
and meet the bosses because that's how I have been able to close a couple of deals because the confidence comes when they meet me,
Mm-hmm.
because nobody would know your work and business better than you.
Mm-hmm. So you
So I,
have any such clubs in Bangalore where you go generally and you meet people, different type of people, or you have once in a month meeting or a get together?
see, I mean,
And are you a part
not
of
for
that?
business, not for business. It is Fiki Flow. You would have heard of the about
Yes,
Fiki
yes,
Flow.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Mm.
a member there, and they do give you a platform where for advertising in their various events.
Mm.
or they come up with these books.
Mhm.
So sometimes, so I do advertise there. Then
Mm.
you have their social networking groups on which you
Mhm.
put your post once a month.
Mm.
That would be, and it's a women of, it's a, I mean, sorry, a group of 600 women.
Mhm.
So I have got a lot of,
Mhm.
sorry, I have got a lot of inquiries through that platform, a lot.
Uh-huh. And you were successful in
Yeah,
creating your
yeah,
network and business.
definitely. So that
Mhm.
would be, that is one thing. They earlier used to have, they have around 4 or 5 meetings in a month. Do I do
Mhm.
make it a point to at least go for one meeting a month?
Mhm.
But now the actual meetings have just started,
Mhm.
just a month or so. Haven't
Mhm.
been for any, but yes, that is the one platform. Then
Mhm.
I do have one or two of these kind of women
Mhm.
platforms. Then I have gone as a guest to the Triple ID,
Uh-huh.
Architects Association. That's where
Mm.
I have networked.
Mhm.
Otherwise, no, not
I'm sure you must be having a group of your own fraternity, like all designers, all
Triple ID is
architects,
one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So
that
Triple
also.
ID is one of
Mhm.
them.
I see.
That does it. So I do go for a couple of those meets also.
Mm-hmm.
And
Aparna, would you like to give some good advice to women entrepreneurs who are upcoming or who are into business, who want to expand business? What advice would you like to give to them?
uh, I feel never, I mean, don't think you can't do anything. I feel
Mm.
everything is possible. And being a woman, it is your USP because I think women are very strong-headed. I feel much
Mm-hmm.
more than men. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So I feel have a vision,
Mm-hmm.
dream big, and you will definitely reach your goal. Because
Mm-hmm.
10 years back, I didn't think that I would be where I am today. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm aiming that 10 years from today, I will be definitely at a much higher level than where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
I'm
have
reaching
that
out to many
belief.
more people. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
today I feel it's a matter of pride when I go to a resort and I see my furnitures, or I
Mm-hmm.
go, when I have builders like Shobha, Adarsh,
Mm-hmm.
Gopalan, builders, like, those kind of names, and my furnitures are there in all their mock-ups. So it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a sense of pride, which I feel a couple years back I would have not. It's because today I dreamed to be there
Mm-hmm.
is maybe I have achieved this, and I'm dreaming to reach to much higher levels.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope and crossing my fingers. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say, women, dream big. You will. It is not impossible. Nothing is impossible.
Mm-hmm. Well, so nice to meet you, Aparna, and we wish you all the best in your venture. And we look forward to see you as a very, very big woman entrepreneur who has really been able to achieve and through her vision and through her hard work. So we give you all our best wishes, and we look forward to see you in future again.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. A pleasure to have met you, Dr. Rajni.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Aparna.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.